Hey, welcome back to the only podcast that will wait for you as long as you wait for us. I'm Travis, and I'm here with Jenn again.
Hello.
That's her name, Jenn again.
Jen again.
Jen again. I know some of y'all been asking where Jenn has been, and is she back? She's back. She's here. She didn't go anywhere, really. She's just been busy.
Yeah, I haven't gone anywhere. We just have so many episodes. I'm still doing like the same time. What's going on here?
I mean, you've been to 107 places and recorded 107 different YouTube tips. I saw that.
Okay, maybe that one took me away from the podcast slightly.
If you didn't see that, go check out the main YouTube channel. Jen did an incredible... I mean, I can't even wrap my head around the fact you literally went to 107 places. That's insane. How long did it take you to shoot that?
That was well over a month.
It looks like it happens in the same day, which I think is very purposeful.
Did that. I wore the same outfit for over a month. Actually, though. Actually.
Sounds like me, but I don't want anyone to know that.
Right? Intentionally for a month. Every time I went to New York to visit my nephews, and obviously I was going to film there as well, I just wore the same thing every day. And eventually my family said something, and they were like that's a nice outfit, but the only outfit.
But I mean, you look at it, you're like, wait a minute, how is she obviously in New York and then obviously not in New York and still wearing the same thing? It was weird for a while. I'm like, am I tripping? What's happening? There's
two things that kill me about that, which is I filmed the opening scene first, which was almost 2 months earlier. So I didn't have the idea for the continuity throughout the entire video. So I have a different outfit on during that one. And then I had such an early morning flight to Colorado that I didn't have time to do my hair, and my hair was different in two of the clips.
I think people would expect it to not all be quote the same day, but amazing that your commitment to the craft was nah, we making it just
I literally I put on makeup for the airport. I was I ran out of time to do my hair, but I put on makeup for the airport knowing I was gonna just send it.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, if you're new here to the podcast, we're here to help you grow your YouTube channel. Jen and I answer your emails and talk about silly things. And one more thing before we get into the emails. Well, actually, we'll save it for in the middle because some cool things happened with Jen and I. We were in the middle of a conversation right before, but let's get into a question. So if you're new here and you want to send us a question, you can send it by email or a smoke signal if you have figured that out. But send it by email.
Smoke signals.
Probably send it by email is a little easier. But if you want to send us emails, theboost@vidIQ.com. And the first one comes from Kevin. Hey, Travis and Jen, and potentially other guest hosts or candy workers. Love the candy workers. Sometimes in my YouTube analytics for a video, it says views are up. More of your regular viewers are choosing to watch. Or the opposite, views are down. More of your regular viewers are choosing not to watch. My question, what does YouTube define here as a regular viewer? I assume not my subs, but if not, what not? Thanks. Appreciate the VidPod a ton. VidPod. That's a new name. VidPod.
I like that.
Yeah. So, your thoughts on this? What's a regular viewer?
This is a really good question, actually, because I don't think we have a defined answer as to what this is. But I would say this is people who are seeing your content pop up, have their notifications on, are very active subscribers, are highlighted amongst the community. People that are watching, I would say, I'm going to make up the time of saying within 6 hours, the day period that your content goes out regularly. And I don't think it matters if they're subscribed or not.
No. So the regular watcher, so there's a couple things. That analytic that Kevin's talking about only seems to stay on for a couple of hours. So that's why Jen's talking about that. Regular viewers to YouTube basically means people who are coming to your channel, whether they're subscribed or not, on a regular basis. It could be one time a week, but every week. It could be 2 times a week because you put out more content. So viewers that come more than one time a month is the way I understand it. But to Jen's point, this analytic doesn't stay on there for very long for whatever reason. It stays on for a couple hours. So she's exactly right. The people that are coming, straight up right off the bat. Even again, remember that subscribed, not subscribed idea we talked about, where you're not really subscribed to someone, you almost don't even know it because you're always up in your feed, right?
Yep.
So that would be your regular viewer, so to speak, and it's great to have those. Those are the people that move the needle for your channel growth.
Yeah. That's what I was going to touch on next, where it's these are the people that I would say are the most directly related to your most discoverable content. and what's like powering your channel. Because then when you get that opposite notification where YouTube's like, uh-oh, they don't want to watch this, it's usually community driven content, experimental content, not bad content, but different content that's pulling in new people and keeping the people pulled in watching. So I think that there's a lot of different like definitions of what it actually could be, but I think it's tied directly to your most discoverable content.
Yeah, and I think it's important to understand that just because that sometimes says more of your regular viewers are not watching it, that could be intentional on your part. Sometimes we make content that's discoverable to a new audience. So just because it says, oh, most of your regular viewers aren't watching it, that might be okay. That might literally be the whole point. Maybe you want to break out of your viewership. Yeah, and most people don't think about that. They think, oh, it's bad. It's an 8 of 10, whatever. I just recently had an 8 of 10 go from 8 of 10, and then within a day and a half, it went to a 1 of 10.
Woo, woo, woo.
So,
see,
I mean,
never a 9 of 10.
You know what's funny?
Never a 9 of 10.
Funny you say that. Someone in Discord, in our Discord, heard that us say that, and then took a picture of a 9 of 10 and said, do you guys never see these? Let me see.
An urban legend amongst analytics.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's a previous episode, but make sure you check out our Discord. There's a link in the description. You can go to the Tube Talk, the vidIQ section of the Discord and see that image they tagged, and they're like, here's a 9 of 10. They
I like that because they were finally like proud of it. They were like, I got a 9 of 10. Let me show you.
This is literally a 9 of 10. And it does exist. Oh my God. This is why I love
new spin.
I love our viewers and listeners, and
I know,
man, wait until you see what's coming up here in a couple moments. You're going to love them even more. All right. So next one, again, the boost at vidIQ.com comes from Miles. Miles says, while hiking on a local trail in one of our Texas state parks recently, I noticed how much the path had declined: overgrown brush, eroded wedges, and a general lack of care. By the way, Jen, do you walk around parks? I know you do some walking from here every so often.
I do. I haven't hiked much this year, but I was a very big hiker.
Yeah, I know that about you. Why do I know that? Was it something? Where did you hike somewhere like really ridiculous, like some weird country? And I'm like,
I wish I had some, like, I hiked Mount Everest or something, but I didn't.
I was gonna say you probably did. I don't know. Instead of venting online or writing frustrated letters, a question came to mind. What if I did something about it officially? I'm considering starting a third YouTube channel. I don't think it would fit the others, unfortunately. More of a simple vlog to document the journey. Not for attention, but to raise awareness, share progress, and maybe even encourage others to care about their local spaces too. That said, there's a part of me that thinks I could squeeze it into my Little Talks channel, but I'm afraid it would mess up the algorithm for both. And as a new channel, I wanted to focus to get the proper steps. And then, of course, real quick, the more important candy question. I do like candy corn, but only once a year. Also love Cadbury cream eggs. But have recently been cursed with a food allergy to milk chocolate.
No.
So seconds after eating it, my tongue and lips go numb and my throat begins to swell. I do check from time to time to see if I'm still allergic, but being a candy lover, this is a nightmare. But I've lost 30 pounds. Hey, congrats.
Oh.
Terrible.
What a blessing and a curse.
All at the same time.
Gosh.
So it's funny because we were just talking before we went live about new channel versus pivoting. We're going to actually do a sit down and talk about new channel versus pivoting. We just literally, before we started recording, decided to do that. But in the kind of short answer for Miles, what do you think? Because this is very hyper specific. So would you put it in your Little Talks channel, or would you do a whole new channel for it?
I think it depends on their dedication to this. Like, is this just one thing you want to bring awareness? Is this something like you're going to be out there trimming hedges in the park every week? Like, what is the actual long-term goal? And usually I don't tell people to think like long-term on YouTube ever. But when it comes to starting this new channel, is this just something like you obviously care about, but is it something you're going to be continuously proactive about enough to maintain a new channel about it? And if not, then it can just be content like you squeeze in and you want to have a place to share your voice, and that can be an existing channel. Strategy-wise, should it be a new channel? Conceptually, it sounds like yes. But is it going to be worth it to have it on a new channel that you don't have the time to dedicate to?
Bingo. Have you seen that one lady who like fills in pots on the road? Have you seen her?
No.
She's like hyper, like she does it in like shorts, but she'll find like potholes in roads. And she like, it's weird because she doesn't stereotypically look like a person who knows how to fill in potholes, but she has like all the tools and stuff, and she'll fill in potholes, and she gets like millions of views because it's the wildest thing you've ever seen. But this almost sounds like that, but not quite as interesting.
Miles better wear some shorts.
Miles, you're going to need to fill in some potholes at the park, I think. I think at the end of the day, Jenn is 1,000% right. Are you going to dedicate time to it? Also understand that your total addressable market for that type of content is going to be small, and as long as you're okay with that, that's fine. This sounds more like a subject for a conversation piece on one of your other channels, and then you kind of move on. However, if you feel passionate about it, absolutely do it. I mean, that's the thing about second and third channels is if you don't have a business behind them, they should be your fun channels. Let them be your fun, I don't care about views channel.
This should be community driven. It should be getting the town together. It should be going to pick up trash, going to clean up the trails together. I mean, it sounds like that would be the goal, but obviously you have to put in time to get that awareness.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
It's definitely a rewarding one, but a tough one.
Yeah, I feel like it's important to know where you are with the amount of time you have, because what if your first channel is good and it's got a lot of stuff, and you got these other 3, 4, 5, 6 other channels that and you're not doing what Jenn does, which is use them to comment on people's things. She's got like 16 logins.
Stop it. I already wanted to start like 2 new channels this week alone. I need to be like someone
more disciplined.
Oh my God. I literally can't. I literally wanted to start like a new vlog channel. It was just like, what happens if I start a vlog channel for 30 days? And then someone was like, do you have 30 days to start a channel? Like, when are you doing this?
You talked about this in a meeting, I think.
I did bring it up in a meeting. And I was like, what if we sign off on all my other responsibilities and I start a vlog channel?
Don't do that to yourself. What's wrong with you? We have a really cool, I don't know if this is going to work. This is one of the things you have to watch on YouTube. We have a video submission, which isn't even a question specifically. It's more of a, well, I don't know. Let's just listen to it. Let me share the audio here and let's take a listen.
Hello, Travis and Jenn. I just noticed that I'd not put much in my descriptions of my YouTube shorts, which generally do well for me, and these ones kind of sat a little dormant, and so I went in and I put magic items, because it's about Dungeons and Dragons magic items. I put one that I'd saved in notes and I pasted into all the others that I'd done, and these two hadn't had that, so the two that would sat dormant, I just pasted in the same old magic items description into 2 different shorts that were dormant, and immediately they started to grow. Immediately. And I suddenly thought, I presumed that YouTube knew what I was doing from all the other details, but I found it interesting that the description immediately kicked it off. Thoughts?
I love this, by the way. More video submissions, please. I think it's the coolest thing to see.
It makes it feel like we have someone else on the podcast. I love it.
Right? I knew you'd like this. So here are my thoughts. I'm assuming, so we know this by Todd Beaupre, who actually works on the YouTube algorithm. He mentioned in a interview I did with him years ago that when they don't have a lot of data about what a video is about, so in other words, we don't have a lot of impressions or views or whatever, and in the case, that might have been the case for these shorts, he said dormant, adding metadata can help it understand what the video is about and then target new people. So what it sounds like is that at least in these shorts or whatever, that he maybe didn't have enough data, or YouTube didn't have enough data about what it was about, and putting that in suddenly gave it a little, oh, okay, these are the type of viewers that might enjoy it, let's give it a shot. And then that's what happened. It is interesting because in some ways, we've always talked about filling in description. We've always said that. We said tags kind of, whatever. Mm-hmm. But descriptions are kind of underrated. I don't disagree that you should put something in there. And if YouTube gives you an area to put information in, you should probably put information there. Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. But we actually have tools with vidIQ that can help you. If you don't like to type a bunch of stuff, You literally can actually, we have a tool that will start to fill in the description by it'll read like some of the information of in the video and put it in yourself, or you can type in keywords and then it'll put it in, and that's better than nothing. Like, put something in, something.
I agree with something. I also think there's a world where this creator went back to edit content and it kind of revitalized it. It brought it back to life. It was obviously very stagnant, not performing well, and going in and making changes. We know from time to time when we change our titles, when we change our thumbnails, when we just update information, YouTube has to reanalyze that data. So I think potentially in combination with that, we're looking at this creator making positive changes, which just happen to be the description, adding more information, as well as just changing something could have helped that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it doesn't hurt to go back and make those small things if you want to try them. If anyone else has tried this and had success, definitely send us a message. We'd love to hear from you and put more information on. Again, you should put something in there and kind of describe what happens in the video as best as possible. And this, again, isn't necessarily going to take a video that has like 2,000 views to 10,000. But if you only got a couple views on it and YouTube just can't figure out what the video is about, this does not hurt. It certainly can help. So thanks for sharing that with us. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay. This is going to be one you're going to love. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
This one's from Haley. Hey, Haley. Hey, Travis and Jen. Thank you for all your expert advice and taking my questions on the podcast. Remember, she was the one who sent the video thing, and she was in Discord. Remember?
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. So here's a little something, well, two versions because I didn't know which one I liked more, that I drew for you. I hope you like it. Keep up amazing work, building the community and helping creators. Now, Haley's studio has a YouTube channel where she draws stuff like on her iPad and whatnot, and it's a really fun little channel. Love it. I'm going to show you this, Jen. I love this. I'm going to probably get a shirt made of this. I'm not even joking. So if you're watching, you have to watch this on the YouTube channel. If you're listening to the audio podcast, I highly recommend that you switch over to the YouTube channel. Are you ready?
Okay.
We're standing on a YouTube play button. You have candy corn ear headphones. I have the Cadbury cream egg headphones.
Why are our headphones so cool?
Yeah. The vidIQ t-shirt on. Phenomenal.
Oh my gosh.
Candy corn, Cadbury eggs, toilet plungers, because we talked about plunging the toilet, chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Where would it be without chocolate cake?
This is incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Are you over the moon or what?
I literally love this. Wait, I want those headphones.
Those headphones are, we need to get them made.
I need those for my headphones.
You should just get big candy corn stickers and put them on your headphones.
Oh my gosh. Someone on Etsy has to make those.
So I'm probably going to print this out and get it put on a shirt. And if I can get it done in time for the studio episodes, I'll probably get that done.
Amazing.
I think
my gosh.
The coolest thing. We have the most amazing listeners, period, end of story.
That is
Check out
so
Haley
cool.
on YouTube. Yeah. Great stuff. Thank you so much for that. All right. Mark's up next. All right, Mark. Hi, Jen and Travis. Thought I would share some learning experiences in anticipation of my 3rd anniversary as being a YouTube content creator.
Amazing.
The below statements may apply only to me, everyone, Rob's dog, Dan's cat, or who really knows. That's YouTube. Feel free to agree, disagree, or add anything else I've said. So this is cool because this is not a question. This is this person's, Mark's, experiences on YouTube. I love this.
I love this too.
First one. Initially, your channel will be terrible and no one likes it, but that's fine. Being on YouTube is a victory. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a true statement.
Yeah.
Very likely you're going to make terrible videos your first couple of ones out.
You won't know they're that terrible though when you're making them.
No.
They won't feel terrible. They'll feel good.
It's going to feel like fire.
Yeah.
The more subscribers you gain, the more you lose. This is demonstrably true.
Yes.
Absolutely. The goal is to have more than you started with the day out. So more than you started the day out with. So what's really cool about this is in a future episode, well, depending on when this goes out compared to the next episode, I did an interview with Hafu Go, and he literally talks about performance and that, when I said, well, how do you take, the 1 of 10 thing and that sort of thing? He goes, I only look at it by year. Am I better this year than last year? And I'm like, whoa, because that takes everything into consideration. And as long as that line's going up, he's all good. And that's kind of what this is saying here too as well. I love that.
Absolutely.
That said, who cares about subscribers? Only a handful watch your channel anyway. And for those who do stick around, make your content for them. That's cool.
That's true.
Love that. The only failure is giving up too soon. Otherwise, it's all various degrees of success. But if you do believe you have failed, do it spectacularly and post it anyway.
Post it anyways. Wait, that's great.
We do that. I think we do that.
That's great.
Don't rely on family or friends. They will lie to you. This is true. Always appreciate constructive feedback in the comments section. You won't always get it, but it's nice if it's there, even if your video sucks, a type of remarks. Ah, yes, the video sucks, yes. There's no beating the algorithm. Oh, thank you, Mark.
Oh my gosh, someone to finally hear it, not from us.
Oh my gosh. Only methods that are to work with it and allow it to work for you. The algorithm needs you as much as you need it. And finally, at least for now, YouTube will update and change as viewers do. Sometimes for the best, mostly not. Adaptation is key. Fantastic message.
Those are all such good takeaways.
Really important that this is like the reality of YouTube. A lot of times you'll see these YouTube videos that are like, how to grow this and that and the other, and just do this, that, and the other, and paint by numbers, and boom, you're good to go. Nah, bro, this is the truth. That a lot of these things are true. Like there's aspects of it that are really trying. If you take it as fun, then it'll be fun. If you take it seriously, you're going to have ups and downs. It's just there's no way to avoid that. But Mark, beautifully said. Thank you so much for your message.
Yeah, I think that's a good video idea. I'm going to write that down.
Oh.
Like unconventional YouTube advice.
Look at this.
Because I feel like what you said is true too. Like even we do it. We give out a lot of the same advice over and over and over.
Yes.
Because nobody listens.
Whoops. Yeesh.
But I feel like there is like unconventional takeaways.
There are. I like that. That's really great. Good job, Mark. You got a YouTube video going to be made.
Way to go, Mark.
All right. Tim says, Dear Travis and whoever's filling in for Jen this week, a long-time listener, in my car mostly, an occasional watcher, I will not be recommending candy or sweets or chocolate, but I will ask you if you know what Tim Tam Explosion is. I've heard of Tim Tam before, but I don't know what it is. I think it's a UK chocolate or dessert or something.
I don't know.
I don't know what a Tim Tam Explosion is.
I don't know.
He said it's okay to save on YouTube. It's okay to search for on YouTube. Okay, right now to the serious business of my YouTube channel. Yes, multiple. I have one with 2,900 subs, one with 3,900, a lockdown experiment, and one with 700, my latest. I am clearly mad. I am 53.
Same.
Well, welcome to YouTube.
Right.
I am 53 and I've been dabbling with this stuff for 10 years, but I just can't find a niche I want to stick with. Help me as I can't seem to let go of any of these and I'm afraid to so-called pivot them. What should I do?
Ooh. This is a really tough situation because I actively think about this all the time. Like I want to start a channel obviously like every week. And then I'm like, well, what do I do with it? Like say you start a channel and it starts to perform well and you have momentum, you want to keep up with that momentum. Now you're like Tim and you have 3 active channels and like something has to go. And when you're thinking about the longevity of, his experimental channel doing well, it's like, well, now you want to dedicate more time to that. And you didn't see that coming. So now does your original channel take a hit? Like it's so hard to balance. And I think it's always going to change. That's the most fun about having multiple channels. They never perform the same.
No, of course
but
not.
You usually have like one working in your favor.
You have one good child and the rest are just hoodlums. Like, what's going on? First of all, having 2 channels, one with almost 3,000 subscribers, one with almost 4,000, is very difficult to do. I assume they're in different niches. That's amazing. That shows you know what you're doing when you're making content. That's incredible. As we've talked about before, there are statistics out there that show that most content creators never make it to 500 subscribers. You have 3 channels that are over that. But I think also this shows that you and Jen have the same mindset when it comes to this thing. Like, I just want to make a new, it's like, squirrel. Let me make a new YouTube channel. Squirrel.
So bad.
And that's okay as long as you're enjoying it. I think if you are putting too much stress on it, it stops being fun. And then at that point, what's the point? Like if you're trying to make a YouTube channel that's like successful and you do all these great things, and you already know what you need to do. You need to lock down on one and just grind it. But it doesn't seem like that's going to make you happy. Will that bring you joy?
This seems like a fellow YouTube addict.
It does.
Don't stop, Tim. Make more channels.
I say make as many as you make, one for every day of the week.
I don't know why you have to have a niche that you stick with. Like if you haven't found it yet, keep making more channels until you don't want to make more channels.
Right.
That's my vote.
Because why not?
If you're constantly tempted, if you're tempted by something, you clearly have an understanding of YouTube. You know what you're doing.
You know what's funny?
one of them will be that niche. You don't know until you try.
This is 100% an unconventional kind of piece of advice, because no other quote YouTube expert would say this. They would say, no, you got to niche down to it, which is true if you want one to grow.
True.
But I think you have to look at everyone's situation separately. And he's literally talking, he's like, I'm clearly mad, right? Of course. He's crazy, right? But in a good way. But he's also been talking about doing this for 10 years and not quite ever being able to stop on one thing. Well, that's a personality trait, and that's something that, unless you're trying to make a living at this, who cares? Like, are you having fun?
I know.
You did a lockdown experiment, and that channel has almost 4,000 subscribers. You did an experiment channel, and it's got almost 4,000 subscribers. That's amazing. Does it have to be a business? Not necessarily.
No, I don't think every channel needs to have a play button. Like, you can just have channels for fun.
No,
it's just fun.
We can't do that. We can't have fun. Jen, we're not allowed to have fun. What are you talking
Ridiculous.
about? No fun. We don't have fun here. What are you talking about?
All
All right, new one from Hootcraft. Hey, vidIQ crew. I've been wanting to send a question for a while, but I've never gotten around to it. Look at that. See, Jen, there's people out there.
Oh my
want to talk to us.
gosh.
However, in recent episodes, it's been clear that the podcast is growing, and with more and more questions being sent every day, the longer I wait, the less chance I'll get an answer. This has finally motivated me to send in my questions. By the way, this is actually correct. So over the last couple of weeks, we've done a bunch of different type of content, including the studio things, where we didn't get to a lot of emails. And some of the emails that have been sent in by regulars, we've had to skip over. Not because we don't love you, we do. But
No,
because
we love you.
we have new people like this that want to send in questions. Plus, we're getting so far behind. The first question of this episode, I accidentally missed 2 weeks ago. It's been waiting for weeks. I'm so sorry. But as this podcast grows, that's the case. And we will try to get to you whenever we can, if we can. At times, if you've written in multiple times, we might have to skip over you. It just depends. But thank you. I've been making Minecraft YouTube tutorial content for almost a year and a half now, and I've seen some success. I have about 750 subs, but almost half of them are from 2 of my 80 videos. From what I've seen, it's not uncommon for Minecraft channels to grow outlier by outlier, and quite a few channels seem to be in a similar situation. My question is this. How do I increase the frequency of these outliers, and how do I double down on them effectively? Each outlier has raised the view floor for my channel, but I haven't been able to actually recreate the success of those videos for almost 6 months. Feels like my channel is being dragged down by these outliers. So I feel like what people don't understand, Jen, and you know this to be true, is that the vast majority of channels, 80% of their growth comes from 20% of their videos. That's just normal. That's YouTube.
Yes.
He's describing YouTube.
No, this is how YouTube works. Hold on, nothing's wrong. This is literally the goal. This is how YouTube works. I was going to say, I feel like there needs to be some simplified way of saying this that we're not getting across clear, which is how YouTube works. Your outlier videos are how YouTube works. No, you cannot make every video become an outlier. Outliers are there for a reason. They bring in people to watch the rest of your videos, which do not then become outliers. And then you have like your lowest views, which is for your community that nobody besides your community cares about. And the goal is to have one of these outliers from time to time to continuously growing your regular middle of the ground content. Does this
they're
feel
literally
simple?
They're literally called outliers for a reason. Like, it's the thing that's not normal.
So like that's what I'm saying. Like, outlier videos shouldn't be something that you can, well, not shouldn't be, but most of the time are not things that you can repeat from week to week to week. And also that might not make them become outliers anymore.
Yes, that makes them regular videos.
That makes them scheduled content.
Exactly. But the thing that was really important that they said was that their baseline videos continue to go up. That's what's important.
Yes.
That's what's important.
That's the outlier's job. You have like a small percentage of the videos that you're making throughout the year that reach a wider audience and bring people to your channel. Those people then watch your week-to-week content, making those views go up. And that is just like on repeat. But like when we say outlier content, like we're talking like few videos. Well, like if you put out a weekly video for the year, one every couple months, one every 6 months. Like, what do you think is a fair number that you would say outliers in a year if you're putting out a weekly video?
A weekly video? I mean, it would be nice if you got one every month, but it's more likely you're going to get one every 6 to 8 weeks. Likely. Like, depending on what the topics are and depending on what you're doing. Now, if you are concentrating on banger content, in other words, you're really researching what's resonating in your niche, and you're looking at your analytics and you're seeing what's resonating with your viewership, you might get it more often. But the realistic thing is it's not going to happen that often. You should double down on when it happens. So in other words, if you have a piece about a news thing that's happening within your niche, maybe you're a crafting channel and a new marker came out or something and everyone's super excited about it, you should definitely talk about it and compare. Maybe your first video is like, oh, this thing is coming out, everyone likes it. Then you compare and contrast that with a cheaper brand. And then maybe you figure out what other brands are doing this. Are the other brands going to try to make the same thing? That's a third video. That's how you double down on that. You double down on it by making it a video that someone who watched that first video would like to watch next. YouTube will then make that data connection between the two once people start clicking, and then that will be suggested up next from the first. But that's only going to last so long.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, people stop watching how you made that chocolate cake with a toilet plunger.
They just don't care.
You don't care
And
anymore.
then will have to find new discoverable content or kind of pivot your discoverable content.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not possible to turn all of your content into outlier or discoverable content.
Yeah, because even Mr. Beast can't do that. And you might go, well, all of his things are over 100 million views. Yeah, but for him, some of those are 10 of 10s.
Yeah,
That's the
his
thing.
videos are still ranked.
Yeah, so that's the thing. All right, just a couple more questions left. We got this one from Paul. Hello, Travis and Jen. I'm not a YouTube creator yet. See, here we go again. We've done it again.
Wow.
We have more people listening before they get started.
Wow.
That's amazing. But love your show and learn a lot about candy and content creation while also having fun. Well, it's great. I'm glad that you learned about candy.
Fantastic.
I don't remember the episodes, but a while back, Travis was talking about his hover scrolling habit. Now, for those who don't know, this is when I forget what you were talking about. I think you were talking about how you like very early in the video.
Yeah, this was like our culture as YouTuber
viewers.
Watchers, viewers, like.
Yeah. So what he's
You're a
describing
hover.
here, I take my mouse, and I still do this when I'm watching on desktop, and I hover over the video to watch it start to play to see if I'm actually going to click it, right? And we were talking about it'd be great if they had the ability to give us an analytic for that. So that's what they're referring to. Okay, I watch YouTube the same way by
Paul
hover
hovers.
scrolling. He's a hover scroller.
He's a hover.
The homepage, opening vids that catch my attention in a new tab. That's the reason for today's letter. Do creators get view credit when I hover a video for 20 to 30 seconds deciding whether or not to click? Today, I noticed that videos I hovered over for 10 seconds or longer show up in my watch history, even if I don't click them to watch. If YouTube knows that and tracks that I hover a video, I hope the creators who created the thumbnail and title to capture my attention gets the credit. But if they do get the credit, will this be affecting their retention? Keep up the excellent work, guys. I learned something for you, but laugh most when Jen and Travis host the show.
Oh.
P.S. When you find them, Chico sticks are a must-have. I've heard of these. It's peanut butter, coconut-covered taste of Nirvana.
Taste of Nirvana. Oh my gosh. That sounds delicious. I love coconut.
I do not like coconut.
You're about to.
I knew I shouldn't have said that out loud because Jen is going to make me eat coconut at some point, and I hate
love
it already.
coconut.
Oh, I hate it already. Okay, so let's talk about this. So the real answer to this is we don't know, but I think we can make an educated guess. So the fact that it shows up in your watch history is the first signal for me that probably does count as a view. I remember back
I would agree.
And I think also they have said in the past that like if you watch a certain amount of seconds for a long form, it counts as a view, even if you just bounce right back out. So I would imagine that's the thing. This is why we need that analytic. That's why we need that metric.
We need the hover.
We need the hover statistic.
Who was hovering?
Hover TM. We got to
I
trademark
think it's more interesting though because this isn't a really positive way. Like they're hovering for later.
Well, so the way...
And they added, would they say that he opens it in a new page?
in a new tab. So I kind of do this too.
What's going on with you guys? Like, what's happening over here? Like,
Look,
what?
I make a shopping list of videos I
Why
want
can't
to watch.
you click on the video? Why can't you add it to a playlist? What are you doing?
Jen, because here's the reason. Because I'm on the homepage, right? I'm shopping. I'm shopping for videos. So I hover, I like it, I go to the thing, I click and open a
Add
new
to
tab.
cart.
And I add to cart. And then I scroll down. And then I look for another one, and then I add that to cart. And I'll have 4 or 5 tabs open. Then I just close that tab, and then I just go through them.
Who opens tabs on YouTube? This is like, this is unwell behavior.
No, here's why. It's a very smart reason why. I'm a very smart person. Here's why. Because if you go, and this is a thing you can check. If you click and watch one of those videos and watch like most of it, and you come back, your homepage refreshes. And some of the ones you saw that you might want to click on, they're gone. And you don't remember what they're called, so you can't watch them. So I add them to my cart, and then I go through them, and then I can go back to my homepage if I want to watch again.
Wow. Are we going to get an analytic for that too? Opens tab, hovers, opens tab.
They know that. They have to know that it was in a new tab. But I don't know if they
have to.
Why.
Is that like the ultimate, like, it's like one step above. Like, that's like the equivalent of like buy now on Amazon. Like, you didn't add it to the cart to buy later in bulk. Like, you needed that now. So, like, you added that. You bought that now on a new tab.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Your watch later playlist is like insulted now. They're like, I'm not good enough.
Let me ask you a question. If you were to look at your Amazon account, how big is your save for later?
Probably not that big. I
Really?
actually like banned myself from Amazon. I don't really use Amazon.
Oh.
It was a bad example. Ask me somewhere else I shop.
do they have anything that even like, is there anyone else that even does that? Like save for later? Is there any other shopping?
Yeah,
section?
Sephora.
Oh, how big is your shop for
Huge.
later? Oh my God.
Huge.
So you're a hoarder, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I have commitment issues. Like, I can't.
I can't commit to buying this right now.
I can't
save it for
commit.
later. Mine's huge too. I'm not gonna lie, and it's years old. It's really years old. What's the oldest thing you think is in your buy later? Like how old?
Oh
how long
my
ago do you think
gosh.
you added it? Can you pull it up? Does it even filter it by?
I don't
that?
know if it would have a date. I
See,
could
that's
look
the
through
thing,
my
you-
Amazon. I don't actively use like my Amazon one, but I guarantee you there's something in my Amazon one
Like,
from
what's the
like
oldest thing?
2020 at
Let me
least.
check mine right quick. We're taking a little break here from educating you guys to do something that's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
Let me look. At mine real
Everybody,
quick.
pull out your phones, check
Pull out
your
phones.
stuff, leave
If
a
you,
comment.
If you shop on Amazon, leave us a comment. Let us know what the oldest thing is in your save later things. You have to hit your cart, I think, and
Okay.
then scroll down and
Oh,
look at your
lights
save
I need
later.
to order
Oh
for
my
work,
gosh.
which I couldn't commit to.
You couldn't commit to light. You don't, but you need lights. What's wrong with you?
I couldn't commit. I don't know enough.
Oh my God! It doesn't give dates, but I'm going to tell you what it is as soon as. Oh my God! It's still going.
Travis, I don't think you're going to be able to scroll to the bottom of yours.
I don't think so. There's things in here I haven't needed for a good 5-6 years. Okay, let's see. Keep going. Man, all the things I've gone through are the things that I wanted at once upon a time that I don't need anymore. I can see the different arrows
I
of
don't
things
know
I
if
was
you
interested
can
in.
get to the bottom of this list.
Your list is that
The
long.
limit does not exist.
Brother, what is going on? I am down right now. Like, I'm down to, okay, there's a bidet.
I have a pool table.
You have a pool. Why is there a pool table? What?
Only $599.
But how do you have a pool? Why? Stop it. Okay, I got playing cards here. I got a bunch of playing cards. I got masks. Okay, so we're in 2020 right now.
Oh my gosh, you can't make me laugh that hard. Oh,
Okay.
you're on desktop. You're cheating.
Yeah, I have to. I can't go. My phone, I'd be scrolling forever. I'd break my phone. Why do I have
That's
a
what
door?
I'm saying.
I have a security thing for a door. I have a door on my... Okay, keep going.
Wait, this is actually toxic because I saved some kind of cool stuff.
Did you? Are you going to buy it now? Or is it too
No,
old?
because I can't commit.
That's why it's there in the first place, right?
Lives there forever.
Literally, I've been scrolling this entire time, and I'm not at the bottom. So I don't think I'm ever going to get to the bottom. But I can tell you right now, I'm starting to see the beginning of my YouTube content creation journey because I see a photo backdrop.
How old do you think your watch later playlist is on YouTube?
So in fairness, I don't use my watch later very much now because I usually try to watch it right away. But I will say that if I were to look, I can probably do that right now real quick just to look and see what my watch later would be. It's really old because I used to use it a long time
Yeah,
ago.
because you're saying you don't use it.
So once upon a time, oh yeah. Wait, oh my God, that's old. Okay, so it looks like my oldest one is 10 years old. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What about you?
Gosh. I have one outlier of 5 years, and then the rest are 2.
Okay, so you stopped about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a good window of 2 years going on here.
She's like,
but I
into
find smart downloads to be
yeah, you're
like
into
where
that.
I'll go instead of watch later.
See, that's not even a thing that I even. You told me about that a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
Where when you're going to go on a plane, like it already knows your stuff and downloads
Yeah.
everything YouTube. That's
Smart
a cool
downloads is, I think, better than watch later. It's like it knows it's better.
It
It's like stuff I
knows.
would have added, and they were like, "We got you.
thing. You know better than you.
Don't
do.
worry about it."
Don't worry, we'll commit for you.
Yeah.
All right, I think this is the last email. Or actually, this is a text message. Yeah, so it's probably the last one. If you're listening on audio podcast, there's a link in the show notes that allow you to send us a text. Hi, Jen and Travis. I've grown my gaming channel to 750 subscribers, mainly through shorts, focused on one
Amazing.
game. While my long-form content includes a variety of different games, my shorts get a good like to view ratio. But I'm struggling to convert those viewers into long-form watchers. Should I focus more on shorts for growth or long-form for monetization? And if I only post one type of game in shorts, but I want to expand my long-form content into multiple games, how should I approach it without hurting my audience or engagement? This is the thing that from the beginning of shorts
Time.
Yeah, the beginning of time, back in the 80s, I think I've always said that these are two different people. Shorts viewers and long viewers. It's not to say that they won't watch both. So I need to be careful when I say this stuff because some people take it as gospel. It's like,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is someone who watches your short content may not be the same person who watches your long content. And it may be impossible, if not very difficult, to get them to watch your long form content because they didn't come to you watching your long form content. They came to you watching your short form content. I liken it to when people will post their YouTube videos on like Facebook or Instagram or something, and the person who's watching chose Facebook or Instagram and didn't choose YouTube, and you're trying to get them to leave the platform they chose to watch your video content. And that's hard because they didn't choose that. They didn't choose to go to Facebook to go to YouTube. So it feels similar to that. But Jen, I know that you are the #1 fan of shorts.
Number one.
So I would love to hear what you think about this.
I find it very difficult to tell someone to proceed with shorts unless they are already a short form creator on several platforms.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It doesn't sound like that's the case since they're actively making both. That's how I interpret it. It sounds like they're making both for YouTube.
Does sound that way.
And in that case, I don't know why you're making shorts, period.
Oh my God, Jen, stop getting yourself canceled. What's wrong with you?
I know.
She's not laughing at you. She's being
No,
silly.
it's just they obviously have goals for monetization. Sounds
Yes,
like they
yes.
would like to earn money from
Sure.
their content.
Sure, why not?
They have the time to put into long form content.
Mhm.
I don't know what the benefit of pushing shorts over having the skills to do all of everything else would be. Unless
Fair.
they were actively creating on TikTok and Instagram and they were prioritizing so much of their time for multiple platforms.
Fair. And I feel like you have to make a choice based on what you're having the most fun with, and then and the thing you're most passionate about, and then the money will come potentially. Doing it for strategic purposes only sets you up for potential failure because if you do something for strategic purposes and it doesn't work, you probably aren't having fun. You did it for strategic purposes. So again, a lot of other content creators might tell you to do it one way. We're just saying that the easiest thing to do is to make sure you don't burn out. That's the best way to success, is to take the path that's not going to burn you out. And if that's you enjoy making shorts and they get quick views and stuff, fine. But don't expect those people to come to long form.
Yeah.
Just don't have that expectation.
That's why I'm saying if they're making shorts for other platforms and they're throwing them on YouTube for whatever,
Yeah,
cool.
right.
Like, I would say the efforts are focused more than just YouTube. But if you're
Right.
solely focusing on shorts for YouTube, I personally don't understand the payout of that.
I agree.
And also, if you're doing that, like, you should probably put them on TikTok and
But yeah,
Instagram
might as well.
also.
Just do that. Just what are we doing? So anyway, that was the Q&A. We're going to wrap up here in a second, but we were in the middle of talking about something before we started the podcast. And for those of you who have come just to learn YouTube, thank you for joining us. Of course, hit the subscribe button if you're interested. And you can leave us a 5-star review on all
Only
your
5
podcasts.
stars.
Only 5 stars. But if you're here for us and you like to hear us jibber jabber about things, we're going to jibber jabber about something real quick. So despite the fact that she's not a hardcore gamer, Jenn did something that I haven't even done as a much more hardcore gamer than her. And that's wait outside for a release of a console, which I have never done. Yet Jenn yesterday, despite not even talking about wanting to get a Switch 2 until like a week ago, goes to her local Best Buy and sits out there for how long? I'm sorry, for how long, Miss Thang?
For 6 hours.
That's ridiculous.
For 6 hours. Yeah. Outside of Best Buy. And
You're
like,
insane.
vibes were high. Highly recommend anybody who's in that space, that world. Next time, go wait.
I've always
Do it
wanted
the
to
original.
do it.
Do it the original way. Do it the original way. It was so fun. I have never had 6 hours go by so fast, and I have waited just as long, if not longer, to get into a concert, like for concert tickets. Like, this was the shortest 6 hours of my life. I got there. So what happened? Travis is right. I didn't really have that much interest in a Switch. I was gonna buy a GameCube, and then Dan was like, "Why would you buy a GameCube? They're gonna have all the GameCube games on the new Switch." And I was like, "Oh, now are they? Oh, you've piqued my interest, Dan." So I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll get a Switch." And then I had mentioned to my husband, and I was like, "I think maybe I'll get a Switch." And he was like, "You know what? I think that's a fantastic idea. If you get a Switch, I can go sit and play games uninterrupted."
Oh my God.
So I went, and I only planned on going to wait in line for 2 hours. But yesterday, I texted my sister, and I was like, "Are you getting a new Switch?" Because I had originally bought the first Switch, and then I gave it to her because I wasn't really using it, and she loves it. And she was like, "No." And I was like, "Oh, I am." And she's like, "Well, now I am too."
Oh my God.
So she goes, "What time are you going to go?" And I was like, "I don't know. I tried to call Best Buy. They wouldn't answer."
Yeah, they don't answer anymore, by the way.
Yeah, no. So she was like, okay. She texted me at 3:00 and was like, "I'm in line." And I'm in line. So she went from not even wanting it to a couple hours now wanting it because I'm going to have one to waiting in line
Bruh.
more than 6 hours before. And I was like, "Oh, crap. I'm on my way home from the gym." She's like, "Yeah, I'm 14th in line. You better get there. Get there." So I raced right to the line, and I was 7th. And we partied all night. They dressed up. They passed out candy.
What?
They were playing music. It was so fun.
Did you take a chair?
Oh, even better. I didn't have a chair. I couldn't find my camping chair. So I just went there, and I was like, "I'm fine. I sit on the floor all the time. I'm fine. I'll lean against the wall." And I told my husband, I was like, "Yeah, I'm in line or whatever." He drives by like a baller, has a brand new chair, hangs it out the window.
Let's go.
It's hot pink, and he's like, "I got you."
Oh, I love that.
So I'm like, "Oh my God, what a guy." I
Right?
open it up. Travis,
Is a Barbie chair?
it's a child's chair that I cannot
Not.
fit into. The woman next to me was in tears. She could not even, was gasping for air. I set this thing up to try to sit in, and she was like, "That's a kid's chair. That's
he
a
know
kid's
that?
chair." No, he had no idea. So he drove off. He's at the gym. He comes back, and I'm like, he's like, "You're not sitting in your chair."
I didn't bring any dolls to put in it. I'm sorry. Oh my God.
Yep.
That is hilarious.
It was so funny. It was so funny.
Well, you got your Switch too, which is amazing.
I got my Switch too. And I will say, living on the West Coast, it's a perk. I was home. It wasn't even dark out.
That's true. So a lot of these things are done at midnight, but thank goodness whoever thought of this, do East Coast midnight, 9 p.m. West Coast.
Yep.
So we good. We live in it. West Coast, West
Yeah.
Coast.
My sister got home at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We're not doing that hell here.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that's what." I'm like, "I'm so tired." It was 10. I was like, "What?"
She's like, "What are you talking about? It's almost morning over here."
So now I need to figure out what games I even want to play on my Switch aside from Mario Kart.
Well, Everyone, send us an email, leave us a comment here in the YouTube video, and let us know what games Jenn should like to play. She got Mario Kart right now and looking for other games to play.
I have to fire up my Gentendo.
And start that channel. Let's go, the Switch Gentendo channel. I think everyone wants to see that. Anyway.
No more channels.
No more. That's their 17th channel this week. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll definitely check you out in the next one. Also, we got a bunch of content. Maybe you've missed a couple of episodes. Go back and watch those. We got so many amazing episodes, interviews to come, all types of great stuff for y'all. We can't wait to see you in the next one.